All right, hey guys. This is going to be a review of the Terror show that I saw last night. It was at the Bottleneck in Lawrence, Kansas. It's actually part of a whole tour headlined by Stick to Your Guns, but I actually didn't stay to see Stick to Your Guns. I've seen them before. They don't really do that much for me, but they're a pretty good band, and uh, I know the people there gave them a good show, so that's good. But it was the bands I saw. It was Terror. And then I saw Hundredth, Counterparts, and Expire. So it's a whole hardcore tour package. The first band, Expire, they're from Milwaukee, and they do kind of. I would say they have more in common with Terror than Hundredth and Counterparts do. They're definitely more of a old school hardcore band, as in lots of breakdowns, lots of gang vocals, sing along, stuff like that. Really short songs, really brutal songs. Definitely not as melodic as some of the other bands. They were the first band on, but they actually had a pretty good crowd in there. I thought that was pretty cool for this tour. The crowd was huge from the get go, so obviously a lot of these kids wanted to see all the bands. Expire, yeah, like I said, they have really short songs, but lots of energy in them. And a lot of crowd surfing, lots of hardcore dancers in the crowd and stuff like that. But yeah, so the crowd was still kind of filtering in at that time, but the crowd that was in there, was a pretty good size for a first band, and they're pretty energetic for them. The second band of the night was Counterparts, from Canada. Counterparts, along with Hundredth, is a kind of a more melodic hardcore band. Lots more emphasis on like riffing and the vocals and stuff like that instead of um, beats and breakdowns to make people like hardcore dance and stuff like that. But it definitely had elements of that too. Um, I want to say that the crowd, because of their reception to Hundredth and Counterparts, was obviously there more for the bands like Expire, Terror, and Stick to Your Guns. It was a lot more subdued. There was definitely some activity in the pit, but definitely not like it was for Expire or anything like that. Same goes for the next band, Hundredth, who they had a lot more. They kind of remind me a little bit of maybe like Rotting Out, but still a lot of melody in their music. Um, they had a most of the crowd, was still kind of subdued, but they had a pretty good sized contingent of like 20 to 30 people right up in front of the stage in the middle of it, singing along. Lots of people jumping on each other's shoulders to get to the mic and stuff. Their last song, Desolate, actually everyone kicked in for that song, so that must be kind of like their song that they really know. For those three bands, I've never really checked them out before. Before this show, I kind of went on YouTube and checked them out, and they're okay. So that's kind of why I decided to go to this, because I know I'm seeing Terror again at the Warped Tour at the end of July, but to see them, like, it's been a while since Terror has come around here. They were here in 2008 opening for Suicidal Tendencies, and I saw that show. That was a good show. And then they were here again in 2009 on that 10 for $10 hardcore tour, which I did not see that. So yeah, the main reason I went was for Terror, and they did not disappoint. I had checked online, kind of looking at their set list that they've been playing, and they've been opening with like one with the Underdogs, and that's a great song. But I really, really want him to do "Out of My Face," and so I was recording each band, just the first song for each of them. And Terror comes on stage. They come on stage and people start going nuts. A pit breaks out, stage diving's happening. It's awesome. And then they start going into Out of My Face. And I was just like, oh man, this is going to be so awesome. And yeah, so they gave us a little bit of a different set than they have been doing. Lots of, their first three songs, they opened with Out of My Face, went right into Stick Tight, and then Spit My Rage, which those might be my three favorite Terror songs. So that was really awesome. And the pit was absolutely insane the entire night. Scott Vogel, he's kind of a legend in the hardcore scene, maybe the best frontman hardcore has ever had. He was constantly telling people move up, and giving these speeches in between each song, saying stuff like, I believe in hardcore, I believe in the power of hardcore to bring people together. It doesn't matter what color you are, what you believe in, what length your hair is. We're all here to have a good time. Stuff like that. It was actually his birthday. He's 40, and the dude, he moves around like he's a lot younger. Um, he just incited so much circle pitting, so many stage dives, and he was giving the mic to people left and right during their last song, "Keepers of the Faith." He just gave the mic to the crowd, and they took it and just sang along. It was awesome. Um, Terror is a band that knows the crowd is as important to a hardcore show as the bands are. And I have some video which I'll show you that this crowd was the perfect hardcore crowd. People at times people were crowd surfing up near the stage, and these stage divers would run and use them as a launching point into the crowd for their stage dives. It was just absolute chaos, but everyone was smiling, everyone was having a good time. Uh, it was the perfect hardcore show. But yeah, and so as far as like the sound and everything, I thought the sound sounded perfect for each band. This is actually my first time at the Bottleneck in a really long time. Bottleneck is perfect for these kind of shows. The merch each band has, each band had a lot of merch. All of them had like 7 inches, 12 inches, CDs, T-shirts. Some of them had like flags and stuff like that. So if you're seeing this tour and you're a big fan of these bands, each band has a lot of stuff, and they're pretty decently priced too. So yeah, for that show, it was a really fun show. I'm really glad I went. I'll be looking forward to seeing Terror again on the Warped Tour. I think Stick to Your Guns is on Warped Tour too, so I can catch them again. But yeah, great show. In April and May, I'm going to a lot of shows. So stick around for a lot more reviews, and I'll see you guys later.